You know, folks say history repeats itself. Well, I sure hope that ain't true about the Civil War, because those battles were something else, truly unforgettable. Virginia, bless her heart, saw more than her fair share of fighting and struggling. But those battlefields, they ain't just about the past, they're living history. They're peaceful now, full of stories and lessons we can learn from every day. So grab your boots and your sense of adventure, because we're about to dive headfirst into the top 5 must-visit Civil War battlefields right here in Virginia. Our first stop takes us back to where it all started, Manassas National Battlefield Park. Imagine, if you will, the summer of 1861. Folks thought this whole war would be over in a snap, a grand picnic almost. Well, Manassas proved them wrong, twice. First Manassas, then second Manassas, both fought right here. Walk these fields, see the cannon silent now, and you can almost hear the echoes of those battles. Don't miss the Henry Hill House right in the thick of it, or the Stone Bridge where so much bravery on both sides met a tragic end. As you walk through the park, take a moment to read the historical markers. The reenactments here are some of the most detailed and immersive you'll find. Visit the museum to see artifacts that bring the history to life. Whether at dawn or dusk, the battlefield holds a somber beauty. The bravery and sacrifice of those who fought here is palpable. The cost of war is evident in the stories of the wounded and the medics who tended to them. The aftermath of the battles left a lasting impact on the land and its people. Today, visitors of all ages come to learn and reflect on this pivotal moment in history. Manassas National Battlefield Park is not just a place of history, but a place of remembrance and education. As the sun sets over the battlefield, one can't help but feel a deep connection to the past. Manassas is where it all began, and its legacy continues to resonate today. Next up, we're heading south to Fredericksburg, a town steeped in history and marked by the scars of war. This small Virginia town played a pivotal role in the Civil War, and its landscape still bears the marks of those brutal days. As we fly over Fredericksburg, you can almost hear the echoes of the past, the distant sounds of cannon fire and the shouts of soldiers. Our journey continues to Spotsylvania National Military Park, a place where history comes alive. This park preserves the sites of 4 major battles of the Civil War, including the Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse, one of the war's most grueling engagements. The park's rolling fields and dense forests tell a story of strategy, sacrifice, and survival. This place saw some of the war's most brutal fighting, stretched out over miles and months. The battles here were not just clashes of armies, but tests of endurance and will. Soldiers on both sides faced unimaginable hardships, from the relentless heat of summer to the bitter cold of winter. The ground they fought on became a testament to their courage and determination. Fredericksburg itself, well, that was a slaughter. The Battle of Fredericksburg was a devastating defeat for the Union Army, with thousands of soldiers falling in a futile assault against well-entrenched Confederate positions. The sunken road in Mary's Heights became infamous for the sheer scale of the carnage. Walking these grounds today, you can still feel the weight of that tragic day. This park ain't for the faint of heart, folks, but it's a powerful reminder of the cost of war. The memorials and monuments scattered throughout the park honor the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought here. They stand as silent sentinels, urging us to remember the past and learn from it. As you walk these hallowed grounds, take a moment to reflect on the lives lost and the lessons learned. The scars of this landscape are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for peace. Chapter 3, Appomattox Courthouse, where the guns fell silent. Now let's shift gears and head to a place that represents not the fury of battle, but the quiet dignity of surrender. Appomattox Courthouse National Historical Park. This is where the echoes of gunfire were replaced by the murmurs of peace, where the clashing of swords gave way to the shaking of hands. It stands as a testament to the end of one of the most tumultuous periods in American history. Picture this. April 9th, 1865. The air is thick with anticipation and uncertainty. The soldiers, both Union and Confederate, are weary from years of relentless fighting. The landscape is scarred by war, yet there is a palpable sense of something monumental about to unfold. General Lee, weary but proud, meets General Grant in the parlor of the McLean House. This meeting is not just a formality. It is a moment laden with the weight of history. Lee, dressed in his finest uniform, stands tall despite the defeat. Grant, known for his unassuming demeanor, approaches with respect and solemnity. The terms are generous, respectful. Grant offers terms that allow Confederate soldiers to return home with their personal possessions, horses, and sidearms. This act of magnanimity is not lost on Lee, who acknowledges the gesture with a nod of gratitude. The agreement is signed, and with it, the bloodshed that had torn the nation apart begins to heal. The war, for all intents and purposes, is over. The soldiers lay down their arms, a symbolic act that signifies the end of the conflict. The relief is palpable, yet it is tinged with sorrow for the lives lost and the scars that will take generations to heal. Walk these streets, see the rebuilt village, and you can almost feel the weight of history, the relief, the sorrow, and the hope for a reunited nation. The Appomattox Courthouse National Historical Park is not just a collection of buildings and artifacts. It is a living museum that tells the story of reconciliation and the enduring spirit of a nation determined to heal and move forward. Chapter 4. Petersburg, Siege Warfare at its Worst. Welcome to one of the most grueling and prolonged engagements of the American Civil War. This chapter will take you deep into the heart of the Petersburg Siege, a battle that tested the limits of human endurance and military strategy. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dig into the trenches at Petersburg National Battlefield. Picture this: soldiers living in muddy, cramped trenches for months on end, with little to no respite. The conditions were harsh, the morale was low, and the threat of death was ever present. This wasn't your granddaddy's fighting. This was a siege, a slow, grinding affair that lasted almost a year. From June 1864 to April 1865, Union and Confederate forces were locked in a deadly stalemate. The Union aimed to cut off the Confederate supply lines, while the Confederates were determined to hold their ground at all costs. Imagine living in holes in the ground under constant threat of artillery fire. The soldiers had to endure not just the enemy, but also the elements. Rain turned the trenches into muddy quagmires, while the summer heat brought swarms of insects and the stench of unburied bodies. Disease was rampant and medical supplies were scarce. The crater, that's a story in itself. On July 30th, 1864, Union troops executed a bold plan to break the Confederate lines. They dug a tunnel beneath the enemy's fortifications and packed it with explosives. The resulting explosion created a massive crater, but the follow-up attack turned into a disastrous fiasco. Union troops dug a tunnel, blew a hole in the Confederate lines, and then it all went wrong. Instead of capitalizing on the chaos, Union soldiers charged into the crater, becoming easy targets for Confederate sharpshooters. The attack, which had the potential to end the siege, instead resulted in heavy casualties and a missed opportunity. Petersburg is a sobering reminder of the human cost of war, the endurance, and the ingenuity of both sides. The siege ultimately led to the fall of Richmond and the end of the Civil War, but at a tremendous cost. Over 70,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or captured during the siege. Today, the battlefield stands as a testament to their sacrifice and a place for reflection on the horrors of war. Chapter 5. Richmond, the heart of the Confederacy. Our final stop takes us to the heart of it all, Richmond National Battlefield Park. As the capital of the Confederacy, Richmond was a vital prize, and the fighting raged all around it. Visit the Tredegar Iron Works, where they churned out Confederate cannons, or explore the earthworks that ringed the city. And don't miss the White House of the Confederacy, where Jefferson Davis himself lived and worked. Richmond is a city steeped in history, and its battlefields offer a glimpse into the very soul of the Confederacy. The Virginia state capitol, designed by Thomas Jefferson, served as the political heart of the Confederacy. Inside, the Confederate Congress met to make crucial decisions that shaped the course of the war. The building itself is a testament to the architectural vision of Jefferson and the turbulent history of the era. Nearby, the Museum of the Confederacy offers a deep dive into the lives of those who lived through the war. With artifacts, personal stories, and detailed exhibits, it paints a vivid picture of the Confederate experience. Hollywood Cemetery is another must-visit, where many Confederate leaders, including Jefferson Davis, are buried. Walking through the cemetery, you can feel the weight of history and the legacy of those who fought and died. The Confederate Memorial Chapel stands as a solemn reminder of the sacrifices made during the war. Richmond's story is one of resilience and rebirth, rising from the ashes of war to become a vibrant city once more. Today, Richmond's streets are filled with life. but the echoes of its past are never far away. Civil War reenactments in Richmond bring history to life, allowing visitors to step back in time and experience the battles firsthand. These events are a powerful way to connect with the past and understand the human stories behind the conflict. Richmond's historic districts are a blend of old and new, where the past and present coexist in harmony. Strolling through these areas, you can see beautifully preserved homes and buildings that tell the story of the city's rich history. The riverfront, once a strategic point during the war, is now a picturesque area perfect for reflection and relaxation. As the sun sets over the James River, it's easy to imagine the scenes of the past and appreciate the peace of the present. Richmond at night is a city of lights and shadows, where history and modernity blend seamlessly. Monuments throughout the city stand as silent witnesses to the events that shaped the nation. Visiting these sites offers a chance to reflect on the past and honor the memory of those who lived through it. Richmond is a city where the past is always present, a place where history lives on in every corner. From its battlefields to its historic landmarks, Richmond is a city that tells the story of the Confederacy like no other. Well, folks, there you have it. 5 incredible Civil War battlefields right here in Virginia, each with its own story to tell. These places are more than just battlefields. They're hallowed ground, reminders of the sacrifices made and the lessons learned. So, next time you're in Virginia, take some time to explore these historic sites. And remember, history might not repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow history buffs. And be sure to check back soon because I post new videos 3 times a week.